All right, hey, what's going on, everybody? I don't know if I'm positioned weird. Hold on, let me change that. I feel like if I focus on if I focus on you, if I focus on this, hey, don't worry about the positioning. Just focus on the content. What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's doing fantastic. It's me. I'm back, John the Yapper, and today I want to yap about a little bit of this Marvel Rivals. Okay, so I've been playing pretty consistently. I'm a solid Plat 1 right now. I wouldn't say solid, but I am stuck in Plat. I've only been solo queuing. I've been playing by myself, not just independently playing the game and kind of vibing, picking up things like strategies and things like that. And I thought that what I would do is put my own opinion of this, like of the heroes and the game itself, out in the open. Whether you agree or disagree, it is what it is. It's my opinion. I'm just playing the game. This is what happened. So for starters, it is free. If you have not played Marvel Rivals, it is a brand new, I wouldn't say brand new, but it is a very well made game. Maybe if I put hold on, let me see where the heroes are. I think this is going to be the best spot for my webcam. If you have any suggestions for it, let me know in the comments below, but we'll keep it here right now. So what I want to talk about for starters, a lot of people that kind of go into video games, they're curious about the battle pass, things like that. This battle pass is pretty gangster. It only costs $5, which traditionally a lot of people would probably say that's a little too much. But some people spend like $25 on a battle pass. So I think $5 for a nice little small battle pass. It comes with a character skin for a character in every single class. Tank, DPS, another DPS, and support, which 3 classes are tank, DPS, and support. I mean, well, what else you want from me? Okay, quit judging. And we kind of have some missions as well. It's a pretty standard battle pass. I think it does everything that it's supposed to do pretty damn well. For the people that play this game a lot, I am a level 32. I have played a good chunk, but I haven't been playing a lot recently, so I would be a lot more, but I've been working, doing some other things as well, so I could be higher. I messed up. And I want to go to a big thing that I think a lot of people would really get into is I think the design for these heroes are amazing. You have one skin that the developers made themselves, which sometimes it looks like a banger. You have Jeff the Landshark, Iron Man. I would go through every single skin, but I genuinely think that there's some probably other content creators that have made really good showcases on the skins. You should go check them out, give them some support, do what you got to do. The big thing that I wanted to talk about when going into this is not necessarily the characters, not necessarily the game as a whole, not showing any gameplay, anything like that. I want to go through and kind of talk about where I think every single character, like if you want to get better at this game, the biggest thing people need to understand is every character has a role. I wouldn't say that I know exactly what every single character's role is. I would say that I'm pretty close to it though. I've been playing a lot by myself, so I can kind of see whenever there's some good players out there, when there's some really bad players. I'm in Plat. And for the most part, for whenever I was like grinding like crazy, I don't know if it's changed from the past few days because I haven't played. I was playing against pretty much the sweats. I was in top 97% of all players, so I was playing with the same like 2% of players consistently. Whether that's 1,000 people, 100,000 people, whatever, a million people. That's just what I was doing. I'm just communicating what happened. So for starters, I want to talk about, when I say this, I'm kind of explaining that I think every single, and I'll move the webcam for this one. What I'm talking about primarily is that I think there are roles, and the way I kind of thought about it while I was kind of ranting and rambling to myself is, if you've ever seen Hunter x Hunter, you know how there's like that triangle, or not triangle, octagon, or whatever, pentagram, what I don't know the 5 different traits or whatever. There's like specialist, there's like enhancer, all these different things. I think these characters themselves have like a hidden role behind every single one of them that as soon as you kind of learn how to master and perfect, you're gonna solidify a lot more wins and you're going to be a lot more successful. For example, I think for tank, there's about 3. If the number changes while I rant about them, I'm sorry, but for the most part, I'm gonna try to bunch them together. You have the frontline tanks, which these tanks are the type of people that need to be in the fight, causing problems, diving healers, really just trying to stop any strategies from actually like going through successfully. You have Captain America, I'd say about Bruce Banner and Hulk, Venom, and Thor could be a part of that. Thor is a high DPS dealing. Thor and Magneto are high DPS dealing tanks for sure. And Doctor Strange is probably the best, like, I said DPS, tank. We're talking tank. Captain America, Bruce, Venom, and Thor are probably the ones that you're like, go in there, cause problems, right? Your job is to just really mess them up. If they have a plan, these tanks are going to be the people that are going to do whatever they can to try to stop that plan. And I would say like the frontline pushers, like the tanks that are going to be like pushing behind but not too far behind, is going to be like Doctor Strange and Magneto. And I kind of spoiled a little bit. I do think Doctor Strange is probably the best tank in the game right now. I don't want to say right now because I don't want them to keep on changing it, and I don't want them to like do all this extra shit with all these different characters. Doctor Strange is just very good. He has a nice strong barrier, and I will only go over like the characters that I think are really strong because I don't want to waste everyone's time and go over every single character because that's just going to get annoying. He has a very useful ultimate. It does freeze all the characters, and I guess I'll play it in the background while I talk about it. A very nice ultimate that freezes all of the enemies around him. Now, does it work all the time? No, but if you're smart and you know how to use his kit properly, it does something. Cloak of Levitation, which gives him a movement ability, which I think in a game like this, giving someone a movement ability is very, very good. Not a lot of characters, especially tanks, have a movement ability to this nature. Sure, they can move. Captain America can sprint. Hulk can like dive in, but they're supposed to. He just has a nice float and move ability, which can save his life. It saved me plenty of times. Maelstrom of Madness, this is an AoE attack. The more damage he does, he starts to build up darkness, and then if he presses a button, boom, explosion. That explosion does a lot of damage, and if you use it properly, it can basically just kill anything. You just have to know how to use this kit. But the thing is, his kit isn't too hard to use. And a teleportation ability, which this alone kind of puts him in a completely different category. You can place a teleporter, which can teleport your team, and if they're all dead, you can use your teleporter to kind of bring everybody back into the fight, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Shield, it's a barrier, but it recharges very quickly, which I hope they kind of show it real quick. It charges pretty quick. Yeah, that for like a shield of that nature, use a little bit of natural cover and a quick little gunfight. This is nice. I think he easily is probably the highest damage dealing, most important. If you want to play a tank that just is broken for like no reason, Doctor Strange. Magneto has a high damage dealing as well, same with Thor, but I think Thor and these four are kind of better for just backline. Do make problems, okay? Make them struggle. Magneto, Doctor Strange, slow pushes, playing more team-based fights, not necessarily staying in the back line. They should kind of be more forward in the middle, taking as much damage as possible, but kind of staying back for the team, making sure that like if there's a Moon Knight that's causing problems, that they're back there defending the team. If there is a Spider-Man that's causing a ruckus, there's back there supporting your team, but also moving forward, taking ground. But these guys are going to be the ground takers. These guys are going to be the people pushing the front line. I know I'm repeating it. Yeah, I'm a yapper. It's going to happen. Now this role is the way I wanted to kind of explain these is I think these are just the roles. If you are solo queuing and you're playing, if you want to win more, that's what you need to do. And you need to play these characters to the best of their kit and the best of their abilities. And that's why whenever I had to prepare you guys for this, because I'm about to say Groot and Penny Parker, I'm going to call them the support defenders, okay? A lot of times in a lot of games going into ranked, the biggest strategy a lot of teams have is just go in there, kill the supports, and the game's over. If you have a good support lineup, they'll be able to handle it. But if you have a Groot or a Penny who's basically in the backline protecting the supports, you're 9 times out of 10 going to get the pick of the Iron Fist, the Psylocke, the Spider-Man, and it's going to completely turn the tides of a fight. And no one's going to expect it. Most Groots are going to run in and try to wall off the enemy team. That makes a lot of sense, and I think that's a great way to play them. But are you, who's watching this video, going to have a team to constantly play with? If the answer is no, that is a support role. That is the role that you should play with these characters. Penny Parker, you set up your mines, you set up your traps, you set up all of your stuff behind your supports where they're going to be perfect. Penny Parker is going to be perfect. Like Groot, set up your walls whenever enemies come in. He's basically a hit scan, so that Spider-Man that dives in, don't mess with the Amazing Spider-Man. If you and the rest of the supports just bam, there's a good chance you're going to kill him. And that's like the idea of what I'm talking about with all of these characters is if you don't have a mic and you're just playing and you're just like, okay, how do I do the best? How can I play the best? Dive supports, dive supports, dive supports. Dive supports also kind of do a bit of a slow pusher, but primarily dive supports. Defend your supports, and push in with the DPS. That, I think, plain and simple, that's how it's going to be with these characters. And that's with tank, and that's the main one that I kind of practice by myself. So the rest of this is probably going to be way more hectic. So going in from dive supports, now I think this one's going to be deal a lot of damage, dive supports, flanker. Okay? The way I'm kind of planning this one out is your dive support characters are going to be like Black Panther, Iron Fist, Magic, Spider-Man, Psylocke, and like Scarlet Witch, kind of, and maybe Wolverine if you wanted to put him in there. Those are going to be the people that are not good, and I don't call them flankers because those people, their main job, you want to get the most out of them. They're going to want to take that one character that's by themselves, whether it's a support, whether it's a tank, whether it's a DPS. You want to get that one person that's by themselves, that's a little bit low, like that is in a bad position. You want to capitalize off of that. My air freshener scared the crap out of me. You want to capitalize off that, and that's what those characters do. They have a lot of movement abilities, they have a lot of DPS capabilities, they can get in and out of a fight very quickly, and they don't really need to worry too much about the rest of their team, and that's what these characters kind of specialize in. They're going to push in, deal as much damage as possible, and then get out. Push in, do as much damage as possible, cause problems. You want to cause as much problems as your tank causes problems. And if you notice how I describe everything, if you have a Black Panther and a Hulk that are diving your backline, it's going to be a bit of an issue, isn't it? Now, of course, if you have a Groot or a Penny Parker, you see what I'm saying? If you listen to what I'm saying and like not in like an aggressive way, like I'm trying to say, this is how you play these characters, you have to play these characters like this. I'm kind of giving advice, but how I'm phrasing is like, you have to do it like this, because I feel like if you do, you're gonna win more. You're gonna win more games. The one person that watches this, you're gonna win more games, I promise you. So you have that, and then you have the flankers. Now these characters are probably gonna be a little bit more, I would say, not focused on taking out the supports, but taking those off angles. You're going to want to use these characters if you play Overwatch, the Soldier 76, right? You're not going to be top fragging. Don't focus on top fragging with this character. What you want to do is focus on just taking these angles and making them stop, like fuck, I can't say it. Preventing them from gaining as much ground as they possibly can. And these characters, now Psylocke could kind of be in there, and like the same thing, the flankers could be the support destroyers, yeah, but I feel like these characters kind of do a little bit better. Characters like Iron Man, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Moon Knight, Star-Lord, and like Storm-ish. I haven't really found a good spot for Storm. She kind of just does her own thing. There's a good chance that like your Storm and your Iron Man are going to get trashed, but if you play them smart and you know how to use their kit, hey, no judgment. But those characters I feel like are going to be the take an off angle, take a pick if you can get it. You're going to put a lot of pressure on the enemy team, and that's going to help you out a lot in the long run. Star-Lord is also going to fit in this next category. I think he's the strongest DPS character in the game. Hela is really strong. I think she's more of the meta pick right now, but I think Star-Lord, if you know how to play him right, he's basically unkillable. A lot of people, and he's my main. And of course, this is my opinion. I think his guns have like no damage drop off, and you could shoot them from extremely far away, and just with one clip, you know, that's how much damage he did to a Punisher. If you have good tracking, it's insane. This is basically just an ultimate that can last way too long and does way too much damage. You can destroy the enemy backline. The supports won't be able to stand a chance. If you're not set up properly and a Star-Lord flanks from behind with this ultimate, he can completely destroy your entire team. This is a movement ability, which can be also comboed with his E. And his E is basically, I just did some damage to him. Look how much damage this does. Now, I want you to really think about this. When I explain this, imagine you shoot a little bit, like you just shoot a little bit with your element guns, and then you use this, but you also rocket propulse, so you're moving as you do it. That's a combo that can happen with Star-Lord. He's very overpowered, but people don't use him that much because they focus on what the people say the meta is. There should never be a meta. I don't understand it. There should just be the strong characters and you keep it thugging. I know I sadly just kind of explained a meta, but like you don't have to play the strongest characters. You don't have to play Hela because she's the strongest character. Oh, and I forgot this. Whenever he does this shift, it reloads his guns and he's immune during it. But you don't have to pick the meta pick because just be good at who you play, right? There's going to be characters with better kits, but I mean, I've seen Iron Men just absolutely shatter enemy backlines. And I mean, I've seen Black Widows at top frag every single game. You just got to know how to play your character and find a character that suits your playstyle. Now, this is the third one. This is my category that I think a lot of people are. This is the do damage. Your job is to do damage. Kill. Just kill. Like, I mean, like, if you pick these characters, you need to just be shattering minds, and that is Hela, Squirrel Girl, Namor, Star-Lord kind of in there, but that's just because I think he's awesome. Winter Soldier, Punisher. Wolverine kind of goes into the flankers, but if you want to put Wolverine in this category, you totally could too. And these characters are going to be the Jets. Like, if you play this character, your job is to top frag 1,000%. Winter Soldier, again, I mean, do I need to be any more clearer? He can do a shite ton of damage, and if you're good with his kit, well, there goes your support line. Punisher, I mean, if you know how to use, if you have good tracking, done deal. And you've used his ultimate at the right time, oh my god, are you kidding me? Hela, if you're another one, just click, boom, boom, headshot. You know how to track. You have good aim. The enemy team is just dying, and her ultimate, like, it's a lifesaver. Like, and she has movement abilities, movement capabilities. So does he. Namor, same thing. If you know how to use projectiles, if you're good with Orissa's javelin, play Namor. He had set up turrets. He has an immortality, which is also like a little bubble shield thing that also plays as a movement ability. Like, that is just crazy. That is just crazy. I don't know if I mentioned Squirrel Girl here. I put her in this category just because she can do a crap ton of damage. She's the Junkrat. She can trap you in your spot, and she can just throw. Like, if you play Squirrel Girl, you could probably just stand in the back line, and as long as they don't have an aerial like an Iron Man or a Storm, you're just gonna rack up numbers. And what that role is to do damage, so your flankers can get that like extra little bit of oomph. So your support divers, so they can just go in there. I guess the weakness divers, I should call them. Like, you just play it safe a little bit, and then you just boom. And if everyone does their thing together, win. And yeah, so essentially you have your flankers, you have your support divers, your flankers, and then your I'd like to call them just like the DPS. Like, this is just DPS. That's your job, is DPS. Hawkeye could probably fit in the DPS category, but I think he's better for taking off those little bit of off angles. Same with Moon Knight. You know, your job is just to and I feel like it's better to put more characters in a category where you don't have to prioritize doing a shite ton of damage. It's more about the kits themselves, and that's why I'm going to put them in like these separate different categories. And if you don't agree, that's totally fine, but it's just my opinion. So, and this one is, I want to say, I think this one's going to make a lot of people mad, and I know it will. I don't even think it's a question in my mind. But first off, I think my main is Cloak and Dagger. I think this is the best support in the game, hands down. Like, the fact that a lot of people think Luna Snow is one of the best is kind of annoying to me. Like, she has a lot of DPS potential, yes, for sure. More than Cloak and Dagger? I don't think so. Buster. Okay? And again, it's my opinion, and it's my video, so I'm allowed to have a favorite, and it is easily Cloak and Dagger. She is a no-brain healer. You could like shoot these at the wall through her daggers. And then you have the Shadow's Embrace, which is just when you shift into Cloak or switch back into Dagger. The Veil of the Light Force is heals and grants them a healing boost, which means you heal. If I understand how that works, you heal more. Like, they heal, I think they heal more. Like, what's it called? Like the Nano Nade, Bionic Grenade, Ana, they get more healing, which is pretty nice. And then the Dagger Storm, if you use her kit right, what I do is I'll throw a Dagger Storm and a Veil of Light Force on my team, and then I'll swap to well, I almost called it Cloak. Or Dagger. I swapped a Cloak, and then this is an immortality field that people don't know how to use. I've stopped whole ultimates just with a click of a button. But the reason people don't say that Cloak and Dagger are broken is because they don't know how to use them. I promise you they don't. I've never been saved by another Cloak and Dagger. Ever. And then this is Terror Cape, by the way, which blinds the enemy that's chasing you and it nullifies them. Look at the damage on that. For a support character. Oh, and you know who Moira is? The most hated support in all of Overwatch history? This is like giving Moira this is Moira. This is Moira with more steps. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it. She's my favorite character. She's easily S tier. There's not even a question in my mind. I think she's the best support in the game. Eat my butt cheeks. With supports, I do think that there are tech savvy supports and then the no-brain supports. I think there's literally just two. Tech savvy, Cloak and Dagger, Loki, Rocket Raccoon. No-brain, Adam Warlock, Jeff the Landshark, Luna Snow, Mantis. The reason I say that they're very tech savvy is because you do need to know where to place and position Rocket's drop off. So the spawning, the respawn beacon with the extra armor and the jump boost and his damage boost ultimate. If you don't place him in the right spot, they will get absolutely destroyed. Besides those two things, he's not really too tech savvy. His whole kit is just shooting. It's just BAP with way less steps. Loki, very different. Lot of clones he can make, a lot of decoys he can make, the healing beacons, things like that, things of those natures. And you do need to know how to play every single character in the game to be like really good with him, because his ultimate is echoes and he can basically just take that character and use their ultimate. So if you don't know how to play like Jeff the Landshark and you accidentally grab Jeff the Landshark on accident or something like that, you could have cooked yourself. But if you know how to play everybody, it's not that big of a deal, right? So that one's just kind of like a hand in hand. I think that's it's a very technical one. And obviously I think Cloak and Dagger is very technical. You have to learn how to play two different characters. And I think for some people that's going to be a little difficult. If everyone could do it, I feel like Cloak and Dagger would just be #1 top pick. Now, I'm not going to call these characters. I'm not saying that any character in this roster is awful. I think every single character in this roster has a point, and they all have a really good goal, and that's on DPS, that's on support, it's on tank, all of it. Mantis, in my opinion, though, is better than Luna Snow, hands down. I know some people, for some reason, are like diehard over Luna, which I kind of get. Not really. I think that's just like, I think that's people talking through people. Mantis can do what Luna does, but better and more frequently. So they basically have the same ultimate, but Mantis is shorter, hands down. So in my opinion, if you want the argument of why Mantis is better than Luna, I would say if you use Mantis's ult and you know how to use it in a timely manner, Mantis. But if you're still slow and you don't understand how like the game necessarily works, Luna. Because if you use Mantis's ultimate and it's to stop an ultimate, right? And then you damage boost everybody on your team, you just did both. You did both of what she can do. Now Luna's is more consistent and her kit is a little bit more frequently used, but Mantis's healing is just way too good. And it's the fact that she, even in her ultimate, she could still do stuff, which is really, really good. For basically having a Zenyatta healing ultimate and then being able to damage boost and still heal your team and still do damage, it's just you can get more bang for your buck with Mantis than you can with Luna. Luna, it's like do damage or do a lot of healing. And I think sometimes she just doesn't cut the bar. And in my personal, if Cloak and Dagger's like taken, I'll play Luna because I like the DPS potential. But Mantis can do more damage. I just don't want to play Mantis for some reason. It's like I just know she's better, but I'm stupid. You know what I mean? Jeff, like I said, I don't think there's any bad character. Jeff is too adorable for me to talk trash on. But, I mean, Jeff's ultimate is awesome. If you're playing in like overtime, pick Jeff. If you know how to play Jeff, if you have a good Jeff on your team, you will probably win the game, no problem. His ultimate's really good. And like, if he knows how to put down, like place the healing orbs that he offers, that's good. I think that's good. Jeff's awesome. I don't play him, but I know that you can get a lot of value out of him. And Adam Warlock, I would say, if you can play if you're good at like hit scan and you play Adam Warlock, Jesus Christ. I just, between these two, Mantis, right? Between like these two, it would be tough. For me, for someone to be like, should I play Adam Warlock or Mantis? There's a lot of benefit to Adam Warlock because a lot of people die, and that ultimate is pretty insane, right? And his healing potential is awesome. And if you know how to if you're really good with cooldowns, that might be the play. It's really hard because eventually it starts to get to like that small little bit of numbers. And if you're just better at dealing damage with Adam, I would say go Adam. I would just say like buckle down. If you can do really good with Adam, you can hit your crits. I mean, he's basically just a DPS with insane healing abilities and an ultimate that revives your whole team. Still not cuts in Cloak and Dagger, though. I still think Cloak and Dagger can do a lot more damage. They have a lot more movement capabilities. They have a lot more tech that can be used for the rest of the team and can kind of solo heal. A lot of these characters can solo heal, so that's not really a flex, but that's just my opinion. Now, of course, guys, I am not trying to say that like everything I said in this video is right. I'm not saying that I am God and that follow everything I say tooth and nail, but that's just my opinion on the characters. You feel free to agree, that's cool. If you disagree, that's also cool. You got to do what you got to do, man. And I will say, for the people that stuck around and watched the entirety of this video, thank you for listening to me ramble. I had fun. I will say I started watching Berserk. I watched Kraven the Hunter, and there's one more thing I was going to say at the end, so it's kind of like a statement about the three things I just named. No, yeah, so it's just I'm starting to watch Berserk, and I watched Kraven the Hunter. If you know anything about that, comment that in the comment section, and you're going to be a real one. And if you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. It makes me want to make more content, and God knows I need a little bit more motivation to do so. Hope to hear from you guys soon, and I will be posting my gameplay videos. I'm not just going to be posting commentary, but I figure game's new enough, might as well make a little yap session about it. So hope to hear from you guys soon. Have a blessed rest of your day. Peace out, lovelies. Mwah.